Hello family, this is Linda Onemifer and I'm your go-to-get networking strategist, and I hope you've been enjoying the series over time. If it is your first time coming to my channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell to get a notification when the next video drops, and don't forget to copy the link and share, because the envy is less when everyone is succeeding. And of course, if you're watching me on Facebook, click that follow button, because that is one of the best decisions you're going to make in your life this year. And I'm going to share with you why. We are building confident global champions, and these emerging and intentional young leaders are going to build strong self-esteem, strategic networks and connections to thrive in their space. And today is another day to be able to wine and dine with value in the networking series. And there's a particular issue that have been going on, misconceptions here and there, and myth going on about this thing, C finish, and conjoining all of that with consistency, right? Conjoining all of that with consistency. Is that okay? So I heard someone saying that consistency will always make people want to make you feel like you are. That will always promote C-finish syndrome. Now, what do we call C-finish syndrome? C-finish syndrome is that particular point where people always think that they have already known everything about you and there is nothing special anymore about you. So they begin to take you for granted. They begin to take everything you do for granted because they thought that they have seen it all. And so this is how to manage in the area of consistency. So it's going to be a subsequent one, but I'm going to deal with this particular myth today about consistency in the area of promoting C-finish syndrome in people. Now, people do not like the C-finish, and one of the major things is that you actually tell people how to treat you, and so you are the major cause of the C-finish, and that is why I'm bringing this to you. Now, your concept about consistency in promoting C-finish is not, it's your own understanding about what consistency is. Truly, consistency is the name of the game. People apply consistency on the point that it is always available. No. Being consistent does not mean being always available. It's actually the frequency at which you register yourself, your brand, or whatever it is in the mind of your audience. It doesn't have to be every day. It can be something you do per annum. Just for example, we talk about Nigerian Idol. For instance, the Nigerian Idol or Britain Got Talent is something that is done once in a year. But they are consistently doing it once in a year, right? So the concept of being available is okay, but always available is what promotes C-finish. In the area of accessibility, right? Because people think that consistency is always making yourself always available. No. Consistency is all about positioning. It's about registering your brand into the minds of your audience. So people get to know that these things exist and they know who to go to because you are consistent with what you do. So they already know that whether you're coming up every day, once in a week, once in a month, coming up with that massive thing, and they already know that this brand exists and this is the solution that they are bringing to the table. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're always available for them, but you're giving them the route for access. Now, for every access, right, demands a process. And so many times people do not place premium standards on themselves, and that is why they always see them that they are always available and they can disrespect them at any time. So you don't want that to happen. So you always want to put in standards for yourself, because you actually tell people how to treat you. So what you do is set up your standards. Not that you are playing too hard to crack, but the thing is, you need these things for sanity. You need these things to be able to be productive. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to accept everybody at the same time, because you need things that you need to work on for the results that you seek. So what you want to do is to be consistent as being productive. So you don't put in things and say you're going to do this today and you don't do them. You're not consistent. So you want to put in things that you want to show to the world or want to bring to the table at the level of your productivity. right? Because people are going to, people don't follow people, they follow what works. So if you have what works, they will continuously follow you. And so being consistent is not being available. You need to understand this. So being always available is what makes people think that they have seen it all. And so, of course, they have seen it all. There is nothing else you are bringing to the table. And, of course, they have seen it all because you are always available, right? Because you are always available. So one of the things I'm going to advise you to do today on that area is that put in a standard for yourself. Let people go through the process before they have access, because access is not gotten, access is earned. Write that down in the comment section. Access is not gotten, access is earned by the processes that you go through. Even for those people, those leaders or those mentors or whatever people you want to have access to, right? You go through a process, because in the area of connection, people are just getting to know you, right? There are some questions they will be skeptical about releasing some sorts of information, but with your consistency, not bugging them every day, with your consistency, maybe checking up at intervals, they can now be able to see that the motive is right, because consistency is the name of the game. It's not every day, right? Because by the time, the frequency that you come in with is very, very important, right? So if you come in every day to bug people as if you are desperate, that's what they are going to perceive, that you are desperate, even when you are not, because you're already stalking them, you are bugging them. So you want to actually earn the access through your consistency. And your consistency in the area of connecting with people had to be at intervals, right? Depending on the kind of relationship you want to build and the purpose of that particular connection. It's very, very key. So consistency is name of consistency is not the cause of the C finish. C finish is a different entirely topic when it comes to when I want to disintegrate or integrate whatever thing that is right there. So you need to understand that consistency is not what promotes C finish. It's actually the misconception of consistency by always being available and not having standards that help people to know how well to treat you, to behave, and the structure that you put around things that you do to help them earn access rather than get it. Because see, whatever you get for free, people always want to take advantage of that at any time. The kind of worth you place on a thing is what makes all the difference. So don't sell yourself cheap in the name of always being available as playing the game of consistency. No, it's good you are searchable. That is why you are consistent. So when people talk about your brand, when people talk about your name, Linda on MFO, they already talk about networking, they already talk about connection. That is what matters. It's not when you are always in their face, when you are always shaking hands with them, or you are always in their DM. That's stalking people. That's not consistency. So it has to do a lot with people management in this area. And you need to understand that you should stop bugging people in the name of consistency. Go through the process in order to earn the access. The access that you earn, you'll see that the respect will work pari passu, that's side by side. So which means that the respect is going to be reciprocal. So the other person values you for what you are bringing to the table, and same goes for the other person. So you don't want these things. So you don't want these things for people to take you for granted or start tolerating you, right? Just because to maintain their values and all. You want to be in a space where you are celebrated. And that is why you should be consistent for the right cause. You should be able to develop the mindset of consistency from a point of frequency of registering yourself or your brand in the mind of your audience. Not the mind of everyone, but in the mind of your audience, because you already know who your message is for. Right? So that is that about consistency. I'm going to talk about the series. I'm going to follow through the series of C finish syndrome and how you can actually deal with that. Having to understand today that consistency is not what promotes C finish syndrome, right? It is actually your concept of consistency that actually promotes that. So it's the always available. Over availability is what causes, is one of the things that causes C finish syndrome. You want to know when you have to retreat, right? to recharge, because life is going to reward those who have come alive. And rest is the fundamental factor of restoration. With that, I know that you have gotten value, and understanding that in the route of connection takes a process, because access is earned and not gotten. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to copy the link and share, because the envy is less when everyone is succeeding. I still remain your friend and your go-to-get networking strategist, Linda on MFO. And feel free to have a one-on-one conversation with me if you have any question or you want to engage in consultation. Click the link in the description, or if you're watching me on Facebook, click the link on my bio. And of course, we are going to have that productive conversation, get you started, get you going, and help you build that large network, build that formidable circle that helps you to be appreciated, be recognized, and as well be rewarded. Thank you.